Hello, everybody. Today, our wisdom share is with Merle Westcott. Merle, thank you for being with us. We've just been online chatting, and you have such an interesting idea of how healing is what really gets your body to its ideal weight rather than diet. And I'd love you to share a bit more about that with us, please.
Hi, Bev, it's a pleasure to be here, and it's so nice to talk to you. It will be to talk to you this morning. My idea is, well, I'm a low-carb nutritionist, and it's not just about healing the body emotionally, although I also practice life alignment, so I would look at that too. But it's about cutting all the foods out of our lifestyle that cause inflammation in the body. So cutting wheat, cutting soy, cutting seed oils that are high in omega-6 and 9 that cause inflammation, because once you get rid of inflammation in the body can heal. And anybody obviously can follow the lifestyle. So it's not just people think, well, you have to be eating meat to do it. Yes, we do. Some of us do eat meat. But I have plenty of clients who don't eat meat. They may be over-lacto-vegetarians or even just lacto-vegetarians. Obviously, people who are vegans are far harder, but they can still cut inflammatory oils and soy from the diet, because soy is not the only source of protein. And for a lot of people, it causes inflammation and it's very toxic, and most of it's genetically modified. So it really is about looking at what we're eating and being mindful about what we eat and how often we eat, because a lot of people snack all the time, which raises insulin levels. I'm not going to go into all of the science of it, but it raises insulin levels, and we never lose weight if our body is spiking insulin all the time. So it's a case of actually eating 3 meals a day, perhaps going back to more of how our grandparents ate. Because if we went back to the kind of food that they ate, there wasn't a lot of sugar. Nowadays, there's so much sugar, and children eat massive amounts of sugar. And cutting that sugar from the diet makes a huge difference. So if we went back to having a healthy breakfast, where we had eggs as our protein, and vegetables, so fried tomatoes, mushrooms, those kind of things, maybe cooked in butter, maybe cooked in schmaltz or in lard or in coconut oil. It doesn't really matter what we're using as long as it's a healthy fat. You actually stay full for lunchtime. But if you have a cereal-laden breakfast where you may be eating cornflakes, and then some people even add sugar to that, the amount of sugar you've actually had in that bowl of cornflakes before you actually have anything else to eat could be 8 to 12 teaspoons. Whereas if you hadn't had an egg with some vegetables, even if you had a low-carb bread with it, you've maybe had the equivalent of 1 teaspoon of sugar. And so it's going to sustain you much longer, because when you're having a lot of sugar, you burn that really quickly, and then you're hungry again in a hurry. When your body's burning fat, you stay full for much longer, and you can wait till lunchtime to have your next meal. And with kids, what happens is that they then elevate their blood glucose levels, and then they drop again. So I started off life as a high school teacher, and I often do talks in schools on sugar. And what the teachers say to me is that children are walking into classroom in the morning, they've only just got to school and they're really wanting to snack or eat. And that's because their body never tells them they're full because of the food that they're eating.
Right. Wow. So, so basically what you do and what you're offering us today is that it's about education. It's about knowing what works for your body, knowing what's healthy for your body. And of course, as you said, there's so many hidden sugars in everything. So I think it sounds like if people just started with cutting that out and becoming aware of where the sugars are hidden, they would be starting to heal their bodies. Beautiful.
And people don't realize that sugars are not just a chocolate or the sugar you add to something, that a lot of the carbohydrates turn to sugar. So if they went and looked at a nutrition panel on any kind of food or cereal, and you see what a recommended portion is, and you look at the glycemic carbohydrates in the recommended portion, and you divide that by 4, because a teaspoon weighs 4 grams, a teaspoon of sugar weighs 4 grams, you can see how many teaspoons of sugar you're getting in a portion. The biggest problem is that a recommended portion of cereal, if you put it into a bowl and you weigh it, most people are eating 2 or 3 times the recommended portion, because the recommended portion is very small.
Right.
And most cereals on the market, a recommended portion of cereal is 6 to 8 teaspoons of sugar. So if you're having double or triple, and then you're still adding milk, which has got more sugar, and adding sugar, and then people will have a little fruit juice, which is again another 6 teaspoons of sugar, or the sweetened yogurts, the amount of sugar that people can consume in breakfast is more than you should be having in a week, and it's one meal.
Wow.
So
Wow. Thank you.
that's the biggest issue.
Oh, thanks so much. That's eye-opening. And I know people can contact you through Banting Buddies and your life alignment work.
Absolutely.
Great.
So Banting Buddies has a website,
Okay.
and we have coaches all over the world, so you can find my information there. But I'm basically, my email address is merle@bantingbuddies.com.
Fabulous. Thank you so much for being with us today.
It's a pleasure, Bev. Bye.
Bye.